Good evening. There are times in life when dreams turn to nightmares, and that has been the case for numerous homeowners across India over the past few years, as many real estate agencies have been going bust. This week, as the property developer Supertech was declared insolvent for not paying their dues to the Union Bank of India, people who bought homes from them are crossing their fingers that this will lead to some accountability for these developers who have left a myriad of projects unfinished. Today, cases of builders defaulting and insolvency are higher than ever before. So what lies in store for a homeowner who has invested in a project where the builder has become insolvent or is unable to complete the construction to hand over possession of the flat purchased, despite EMIs, etc., being paid religiously for years? Well, joining us on Meet the People tonight to try and help understand the way forward, we'll have our experts. We have Suresh Garg, he's the CMD of the Narala Group, a member of the Confederation of the Real Estate Developers Association of India. We have Abhishek Kumar, President of the Noida Extension Flat Owners Welfare Association and a member of the Uttar Pradesh RERA Conciliation Forum. And we have Aditya Parolia, lawyer for the Supertech home buyers. Advocateaashutoshsrivastava, who's a real estate lawyer with the DSK Group. But first, I want to go across to Isha Srivastava and Vishal Kumar. They are homeowners at Supertech. Isha Srivastava, it has been a long, first to you, it's been a long road till here, till now, and it's going to be a long road ahead. A difficult week for you. Take us through how this happened, how you got caught in this position.
Okay, so we bought a house way back in 2017 and were promised to get it delivered in 2019. Every time we visited the site, we were told, oh, look, so many laborers are working, so many workers are working. But actually, those were lesser than the laborers who you would see on a lintel laid down on one house. So eventually, keeping our fingers crossed, we were told that our project, like our flat is getting near to completion and we would get something by this year, end of this year. But here we are, sitting in the news talking about Supertech. And now we all are, like our whole committee and everybody around wants to know who will be actually completing our project. Yeah. And because Supertech is sending us emails, the day this news came, they are sending us emails that everything is fine and we all are working, only a couple of projects are impacted, yes, and everything is working fine. Because we were shocked, you know, like we were just getting the hopes, okay, something is starting to build there, but here we are, and Supertech is telling that everything is fine. So there was a waiting game before, and now it's basically a confusion game after the declaration of insolvency. Yeah. So you're not sure about what will happen, like what this actually means for you, right? Vishal Kumar, take us through, your distress over the past few years. And I just want to understand, did you desire to own a home? Or are you an investor? Did you book this flat for investment purposes with an eye to earning profits, etc.? Because there are two groups and they're both affected differently.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Jacobs, to take this in your new channel, and thanks to entire media fraternity to speak about home buyers. As you are, so we are not investor. So one who invests, they have a different issue altogether. We are a home buyer. So we purchase this house where we can live. So everybody who purchased house in Supertech, they belongs to a very middle class family. Yeah. So we are not a very, built up family. We are not a very fancy job. So we just earn our roti kapra and makan. This is the slogan what they have given. And if I talk about particularly me, I have purchased this house in 2011. Now starting 2011 is 2022. We don't have any hope that how this is going to be. Every time we were told that this is going to be handover in 2013, then farmers, so then it has moved to 16, 17 and so on, and now sitting in 2022, and then we have a New York insolvency. So how this is going to be, we don't know. So buyers like me are afraid of how this is going to be, how we are going to get our homes delivered, and on the other part, who will be taken responsibility, or who will be responsible for this? Is it the builder, or is it the authority? Is it the system? Who should be held responsible? Because it's not the case of Supertech. We already have few insolvency cases in past, particularly in Noida, particularly in NCR. We have 3-4 builders who went insolvent. And we all know how this NCLT and everything's work. They have not even got their permission. Even after ICRB involved, I think 3 years back, Amrapali case, we have a recent example. And then since Abhishek Kumar is there on this call, I would like to thank him because of NEFOBA as an organization. We have fought with Amrapali and we have some hope. Now, coming back to Supertech. So, I don't know, as a home buyer, what should we do now? We are looking at social organizations, we are looking at NEFOBA, we are looking at all the possible options to see how we can get our home delivered. Because we have put in our hard-earned money in that.
Of course,
and
10 years.
10 years. And it's not just hard-earned money. It's like 14% interest we are paying by India Bulls. And now, most of the home buyers are about to finish their home loan in a year or two. Wow. And then they want their house in their hand. So now insolvency.
And that money has been locked up for 10 years, and I'm assuming all this while you've been paying rent.
All this while we are paying rent, number one. All this while we are paying EMI to the bank.
Yep.
And we have no
So who is going to be held accountable? Is anyone going to be held responsible? Will there be justice for these homeowners? And how do we ensure that this doesn't happen again? Isha and Vishal, they're not alone. This is not just, as Vishal says, about Supertech. There are thousands of home buyers. They've been left in the lurch with their life savings stuck, as several prominent builders, Vishal's taken some names, Amrapali, JP, Infratech, Unitech, they've all failed to finish hundreds of residential projects across Noida, across Greater Noida and other parts of the country. We did invite them on our show, but they declined. I want to go across to try and find some solutions for these homeowners, distressed homeowners. We've tried to put together a panel of experts. We have Aditya Parolia, lawyer first for Supertech home buyers. Aditya, you represent around 1,500 home buyers of various Supertech projects. What happens now? I mean, you can hear the anguish in Vishal's voice. What do these homeowners need to do? What is, when you say that, oh, you know, this companies become insolvent, what does it actually mean for the homeowners? Are they just going to be a statistic? Are they going to fall like just, you know, they've fallen through the cracks? Nobody really knows what happens to them. Are home buyers' rights protected in bankruptcy proceedings?
Well, first of all, let us get a reality check that this was coming. This was coming for a long time. This is, in fact, had delayed. Supertech should have been declared insolvent in 2019 or 18 only, because the projects have been delayed since 2013 and 14, and they have been unable to complete them. They are not only projects in Noida, but they're in Gurgaon, they're in Bangalore. Everywhere the situation is same. In fact, the projects which they have delivered, they have not been able to get the registry done because the dues which were to be paid to Noida Authority or other authorities have not been paid by them. Union Bank loan was there, there's another PNB. So this was coming. But my only suggestion to home buyers is not to panic. CIRP process, or as you call it, corporate insolvency resolution process, is a resurrection or revival process of a company through which, if a home buyers get united, they can certainly bring in a new developer or even together complete the project. This can be done if it is followed in a unified manner. They need not panic. Their rights are intact. The money is intact. Already there have been judgments and precedents where courts have opined that these companies will not go to liquidation stage. Home buyers' rights will be paramount and they will be protected at each and every. Yes.
Okay, I want to ask you one thing. I don't want to build up anybody's expectations. You say the home buyers' rights are protected, but I read that in corporate insolvency resolution proceedings, the primary and secured financial creditors like banks get the first right to receive payments if a builder's assets are liquidated. Is that true? What does that mean? Will there be funds left for home buyers after this?
Yes, if a liquidation happens, if you stayed in a CIP process, home buyers unfortunately are unsecured creditors and are the bottommost pit of the waterfall. But there have been precedents and the law has developed over the years. The Supreme Court and National Company Law Appellate Tribunal has said these companies will not go into liquidation process.
Okay.
And the rights of the home buyers will be protected and will be kept over the banks, whereby the first initiative should be completion of the project. Yes, there can be doubts in giving refunds to the buyers. The emphasis will be completion of the projects, and they will be completed. So there is a lot of hope. Please understand, Supertech was as it is not going to complete these projects. Now it is upon the home buyers and the COC along with IRP to work towards completion of these projects. So now it's up to them how they channelize and how fast they work in this COC in a unified manner and can get the projects completed. They have one more opportunity. I'll just take one more second.
Yeah, sure, please.
They can initiate forensic audits and see where the money has gone. Because certainly somewhere the money has been siphoned. Please understand, 90% of amount has been given by these buyers. Yes. Where are the 90% development in the projects? Where has it gone? So like in Amrapali, 5,000 crores were being called back. In Supertech also it can be done.
Yeah, but okay. But I want to ask Vishal and Isha. Vishal, how do you feel when you hear this? I mean, basically to me, it sounds like now they're saying the ball is in your court. The onus is up to you. You have to get together. You find a lawyer. You figure it out. Like, I don't know. How does this make you feel?
So it's like I should be very blunt with you with my answer. We are middle class and we are not even the vote bank. So my question to system is not the question of builder or anybody. Is the Supertech will be the last builder to get into solvency, or we are going to hear more news of more buyers to suffer from this insolvency? So how this system to be, because we are the one who is earning bread butter for our family. We are not investor. We have not purchased house to invest to earn money out of it. We don't want to get, as a buyer, we don't want to get in such details. Where the investors, why our system is not so vigilant, why our system is not so strong, why this bank is coming out. This bank has given us loan, so they do not know how this is going to be. Many of the flat buyers.
All right. Let me get in Ashutoshsrivastava. You can hear the anguish here in these home buyers. They've invested their hard-earned money with the hope of making a home for themselves, for their loved ones, that their children can grow up in their own home. This money is not just invested in the future prospects of a home, but in the trust that they put into these builders and developers who were constructing their homes. Why is there such a trust deficit? How have we gotten here? I mean, the system, it sounds like a film. You'll be running around in circles. How is the system why is there such a trust deficit?
See, first of all, if any banks, if they give any loan or provide any sort of financial assistance to any such builder or any corporate, obviously they go through all the documentation, the audit report and everything. And after all the scrutiny of the documents, only when the bank is completely satisfied, they grant such kind of loans for maybe in this case the construction purpose or whatever. Now the question is as to what happened to the money which came all the way from bank to the builder or this company. Now there would be a possibility that there could be a chance of natural business loss to the company. That is also a possibility. And if that money has been misutilized or it has been misappropriated or it has been used for some different purpose, so that could be a different category of using the money. But there are chances that many of the companies, they suffer a genuine business loss. Now, if it happens and if the corporate is not able to pay the debt to the bank, obviously the bank goes to, the NCLT, considering the provisions of IBC. And accordingly, in this case, the bank has gone to NCLT for, further proceedings. So it is not that in every case the liquidation will take place. There are chances that some of the interested parties who would have the funds in their hands may come up with the resolution plan, and they can propose to NCLT that we are ready, you can take the loans if they are satisfied that the corporate has not misused the money, and whatever the money has been used so far is only for buying the land or maybe for the construction site or for the materials, and the money has been properly utilized. See, there can be different reasons for such business loss. If I am constructing a project for 500 people, or 1,000 people. I'm expecting that this much of money will come in my kitty to, construct. And if I'm not able to get that much of money, so obviously the construction work will get
I mean, we know theoretically how this works, and did they overcommit? But the point, Suresh Garg, if you can come in, this continuous lack of trust in developers, whether it's Supertech, Amrapali, Unitech, this is evident. We've seen a drop in the overall sales and the demand for housing projects. I'm not sure if affects prices. It doesn't look like homes are getting cheaper. But we've had a string of real estate scandals. The question is, do we need a regulator? Do we need a regulator for the real estate sector? Should there be a regulator in place?
There is a regulator, RERA. Since 2016 रेरा अपना काम काफी अच्छी तरह से कर रहा है. उसके बाद जितने भी प्रोजेक्ट आ रहे हैं उनको वो मॉनिटर कर रहा है, रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहा है और फंड के यूटिलाइजेशन को भी एक थ्रू प्रॉपर अकाउंट चैनलाइज कर रहा है और ईयरली उसकी ऑडिट भी करवाता है. तो 2016 के बाद में जो प्रोजेक्ट आ रहे हैं उनमें ये प्रॉब्लम कम है. जो अब ये सुपरटेक में या ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, पुरानी जो 2010 से बिल्डअप होके आ रही है वहां पे इन बिल्डर्स की ये पोजीशन बन गई है. 2016 के बाद में जो प्रोजेक्ट आ रहे हैं उसमें मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा 100% प्रॉब्लम सोल्व हो चुकी है, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से 80 to 90% प्रॉब्लम अब सोल्व है. रेरा इसी का जवाब था और वो काफी अच्छी तरह से काम कर रहा है. तो उम्मीद कर ये कर रहे हैं कि आगे इस टाइप की प्रॉब्लम नहीं आए, क्योंकि बड़ी पेनफुल प्रोसेस है कि एक कंपनी में बायर एक पैसा लगाए, फिर वो इंसॉल्वेंसी में चला जाए. इंसॉल्वेंसी की प्रोसेस भी काफी लंबी है. दो साल 3 साल उसमें रहे, उसके बाद फिर वो मकान की वेट करे, नया बिल्डर आए, फिर उसको 3-4 साल का टाइम फिर मांगे, वो फिर बना के दे. ऑलरेडी वो 7-8 साल से 5 साल से अटका हुआ है, उसके बाद 2-3-4 साल और उसको करना पड़े. दैट इज वेरी पेनफुल प्रोसेस. लेकिन जो पुराने बिल्डर हैं, जो उनकी पहले से पोजीशन खराब है, रेरा से पहले जो प्रोजेक्ट चले आ रहे हैं, उनके अंदर इस टाइम पे आईबीसी से बेटर कोई ऑप्शन बनता नहीं है, क्योंकि बिल्डर के पास पैसा है नहीं, कोई बैंक उसको फंड करने को तैयार नहीं है. तो बेटर ये है कि अगर उसकी पोजीशन खराब हो तो जल्दी से जल्दी वो एनसीएलटी में लोग अप्रोच करें, ताकि कोई कॉम्पिटेंट और फाइनेंशियली और टेक्निकली कॉम्पिटेंट बिल्डर उसको एक्वायर करे और बायरों को फ्लैट हैंड ओवर करे.
Okay, but what about the other projects of Supertech? Abhishek Kumar, the property market sentiment has dented. There's funding for developers has dried up. Hundreds of home buyers are in the lurch. Their life savings are locked away in these half-completed apartments. This company was already under stress. We had that case with the Supreme Court ordering it to demolish those illegal towers. It has multiple other construction projects in the NCR. Now, Supertech claims that this NCLT order will not impact the construction of its ongoing projects or the operation of the company. Is that really true? Should other homeowners believe this?
नो मैं पहले आपको ये क्लियर कर दूं कि जितनी भी ग्रेटर नोएडा वेस्ट या एनसीआर में बिल्डर्स हैं, 2010 और 11 में इनकी जो गलत माल प्रैक्टिस थे वो स्टार्ट कर दिए थे फंड डाइवर्जन का. वो एक प्रोजेक्ट से दूसरे प्रोजेक्ट तीसरे प्रोजेक्ट में उन्होंने फंड डाइवर्जन करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, जिस वजह से वो लोन पे और उसके साथ साथ बायर से फंड लेने के बाद वो बैंक से भी लोन लेने लगे और वो कहीं ना कहीं दूसरे भी चीजों में अपने फंड को डाइवर्जन किया, जैसे वो रियल एस्टेट.
बट हैज दैट एंडेड? आप क्या आर यू सेइंग दैट इट स्टॉप्ड?
नो इट्स नॉट स्टॉप मैम,
इट्स स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग.
के बाद भी इन लोगों हाँ ये कंटिन्यू. अगर इनकी फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट हो जाए, सारे बिल्डर्स की अगर एक बार फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट हो जाए, आपको पता चल जाएगा कि 75% बिल्डर्स फंड डाइवर्सन किए हुए हैं. सारे बिल्डर्स नहीं है, 25% बिल्डर्स अच्छे हैं, लेकिन 75% बिल्डर्स वही है जो पहले ब्रोकर थे, जो किसी बिल्डर्स का प्रोजेक्ट बेचा करते थे, आज वो बिल्डर बन गए, जिस वजह से आज बायर फंस गया. आप देख सकते हैं बड़े बड़े बिल्डर्स जेपी, यूनिटेक, अमरपाली के खिलाफ हम लोगों ने कोर्ट में केस लड़ा और हम लोगों ने वहां पे इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोसेस को हम लोगों ने चैलेंज किया था. जो बायर फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर्स नहीं थे उसे चैलेंज करके हम अमरपाली में किए थे. लॉ पे हम लोगों ने बताया था कि ये पूरी प्रोसेस ही गलत है, जिस वजह से बायर्स को फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर्स बनाया गया. तो मेरा बायर से ये अपील है कि वो बिल्कुल ना घबराएं. ये लंबा प्रोसेस है, लेकिन इसमें घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है बायर के, क्योंकि मैं देख रहा हूं कि जिस तरह विशाल जी घबराए हुए हैं, ईशा श्रीवास्तव घबराए हुए हैं, तो उनसे अपील है कि आपको घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि ऐसे भी बिल्डर्स आपका घर बनाकर दे नहीं रहा था. तो आप 6 महीने 8 महीने का और वेट कर ले. 6-8 महीने में हो सकता है कोई प्रोजेक्ट को टेक ओवर करे और आपकी प्रोजेक्ट बने.
All right, I hope so. I'm okay. We're going to be out of time, so I want to just touch upon some solutions. One question to Aditya Parolia, and then again back to Abhishek Kumar. So, if a builder is unable to complete construction, hand over possession, what options do a home buyer have?
See, if such is the situation, first of all, I would like to tell every home buyer to invoke their rights. Go to NCDRC, go to RERA, because Supertech buyers also took some considerable amount of time in reaching courts. Today, that is the reason why a builder has gone insolvent as well after considerable time. So they could have gone to court pretty early. I know that there's an apprehension in the normal population to go reach the court, and they expect that it will be a tariq pe tariq scene. But courts have reformed over the time. There have been justices. So please go to court, invoke your rights, and lastly, they have to unify. They have to raise their voices against wrongdoings from day one. Please understand, Supertech was one of the primary builder to start subventions, whereby 90% of the money was being given at the very moment go. Even excavation had not taken place. So if you see such practices, raise your voices, challenge it. Don't be afraid against the builder.
Okay, Abhishek Kumar, last question to you. What if you want to buy a house? Somebody is thinking, let's buy a house, especially after the pandemic. We've realized the value of having a home. What steps should a buyer take when you're looking to purchase a flat or any other property from developers? Is there a checklist? What are the things one should look out for to protect yourself? Last word to you, Abhishek Kumar. क्या करना चाहिए?
मेरा यही, बायर्स को सबसे पहले ये देखना है, क्या सबसे पहले बायर्स को आज की तारीख में सिर्फ रेडी टू मूव प्रोजेक्ट में ही पैसे लगाना चाहिए जिसकी रजिस्ट्री हो रही हो. आज की तारीख में आप किसी बिल्डर्स की पुरानी रिपोर्ट या बिल्डर्स को देख के आप फ्लैट बाय नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि बड़े बड़े नाम मैंने देखा है, सुपरटेक, अमरपाली, तो वो बर्बाद हो चुका है. तो आप आज की तारीख में ट्रस्ट किसी पे नहीं कर सकते. आप सिर्फ रेडी टू मूव प्रोजेक्ट में ही फ्लैट खरीदें जिनकी रजिस्ट्री हो रखी हो, जिनकी अथॉरिटी में पेमेंट हो रखी हो, आप उसमें करें. हाँ, अगर आप फंसते हैं तो मेरी एक और अपील है कि आप रेरा में जाएं, क्योंकि कंज्यूमर फोरम में जाएंगे, लॉन्ग प्रोसेस है, साल में 1 या 2 डेट लगती है. आप इसीलिए रेरा में जाएं. और जहां तक सुपरटेक बायर्स की बात है, आप लोग अपनी क्लेम को जरूर फाइल करें. कुछ दिनों में ही, हो सकता है 1-2 दिनों में ही अभी पब्लिकेशन हो. पब्लिकेशन होने के बाद आप क्लेम फाइल करें. आपको किसी भी कहीं भी जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ अपनी क्लेम फाइल करें. ये कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है. आप क्लेम फाइल करेंगे, आपकी जितनी भी इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो सिक्योर रहेगी. आप घर खरीदने वाले बायर रेडी टू मूव प्रोजेक्ट में ही घर लें, और जहां रजिस्ट्री हो रही हो वही लें. आपको बिल्डर्स को देखना है कि बिल्डर्स का बैंक का लोन तो नहीं है, बिल्डर्स का अथॉरिटी का बकाया तो नहीं है. ये सारी चीजों आपको देखना है. सिर्फ आप एक चीज देखेंगे कि मुझे लोन मिल जा रहा है तो बिल्डर सही है, ये देख कर आपको घर परचेज ना करें.
Okay, Vishal Kumar, Isha Srivastava, last word to you. Actually, what advice would you give to anyone who, I mean, you've been through this horrific procedure. What would you say have been the learning points for anyone looking to buy a home going forward from a developer?
I think right now, this is the very important point, as he said, that opt only for ready to move in projects. Do not trust, because they have been telling us that, okay, see, this is working, but nothing has been there. So definitely, like, wait for another 2-3 years, get your funds cleared, and then plan only and only for ready to move in projects.
Only for ready to move in.
Yes.
This is what how Abhishek said. So only go for ready to move in projects. Don't get caught in marketing gimmicks. Don't see of any marketing slogans and all. Just go see your property, validate with authority, and only go if the property is being registered in the authority. Don't go for under constructed projects. This is what we have learned over the period of years. Despite being the fact we invested money for our house and we're still waiting. So go for only ready to move projects.
Only for ready to move in projects.
Yeah.
Okay, Isha Srivastava, Vishal Kumar, a special thank you to both of you for coming on this show, sharing your story, so that maybe others can learn and be aware and be wary of all of these drawbacks and setbacks in the system and how it actually works. Thank you all for joining us on We the People, the show where we believe it's important to speak up, but it's also important to listen, and we continue to bring up issues that affect you, the people, and we hope this basically development this past week has brought forth a new set of checks that a buyer should carry out, that a buyer should be aware of, the rights that a buyer is provided under the law, and we should seek answers for the critical questions that we need to ask these developers besides just, the prerequisite due diligence on a continuous basis. Thank you all for joining us on We the People. Bye-bye.